Hi, welcome to another video. Today we will discuss about Digital Communication Unit 2 Chapter 4. Since it's a quick revision, I recommend you to open the textbook side by side so that you can refer to it. Digital communication, the first topic is speed and volume of data transfer. How fast the data is transferred from device to device and how much data is transferred. So here three keywords come, that is the bandwidth. Bandwidth means amount of data that is transferred. How much data or the volume of data that is transferred, that is bandwidth. So bandwidth is measured in bits per second. How many bits are transferred in a single second over the network? So that is bandwidth. More bandwidth, more data is transferred in less time. Less bandwidth, less data is transferred in more time. So as bandwidth is more, you can send, upload, download data faster in few seconds. If bandwidth is less, it will take so much time to send even very little data. Okay, so that is bandwidth. I will explain each term. This is number of bits that can be carried by a connection in 1 second, or the data that can be uploaded or downloaded. Okay, now coming to streaming. Streaming is when you watch a video, it is the video is streamed or it is stored temporarily into the buffer. So when you watch a video, you can see how much buffer is loaded. Streaming is done so that there is no need to download the whole video file. You don't download all the videos you watch, okay, or all the audio or whatever, all the data that is online. So it is somewhere stored in the server and you stream it. That means a portion of the data is stored in the buffer and then shown to you. So the need for buffer is what you feel that it is live and it is going and everything is loaded in the system, but it is actually not. Buffer is like a backup. Backup in the sense, they are a provision. It's like a provision, it's providing. So in the next minute how much you will watch, that much. For the next 2 minutes, how much part of the video or how much data you will see, that much is loaded, only that much is loaded, and that is called buffer or buffering. Now the opposite of this is downloading of data. So when you download the data, there are many advantages, disadvantages. To download, you need more storage in your device. To download, you need internet. If the data is not downloaded, you will not be able to watch it without internet. Now you should have good bandwidth. What else? If the file is downloaded, you can watch as many times you need, wherever, whenever you can. Okay. Whereas streaming, you need a good internet connection. It is not saved, so there is a chance for losing those files. Okay, so these are the difference between streaming and downloading. You can expect questions from this. Buffer, we so then latency. Latency means delay, as the name indicates, late. Okay, so you can say it is the amount of time that it takes for the data to reach the device. Mm, The device A is sending data, some kind of data, to device B. Now the amount of time taken, that is called latency. Okay, so that is latency. So as latency increases, the user experience will be bad, right? Like we are sending something and you receive the data like half an hour later. So that is the user experience will be bad. So these are the terms we learned: bandwidth, buffer, streaming, latency. Okay, then you can say what are the factors that affect. Okay, What are the factors? These are the four factors that affect the volume and data transfer, apart from this bandwidth, latency, all those things. Blockages, big walls, furniture, fish tank, all these things are blockages for the data to be transferred. Okay, like if you have big, huge furnitures or a big fish tank or a big cupboard, so something like this, the Wi-Fi will be less, the data transfer will be slow, all this. The distance, as the distance is more, the strength of the data will be less. Method of transfer. There are two different methods of transfer. One is wired, other one is wireless. Wired means there will always be cables. Wired and wireless, in all the question paper it is asked. I will tell you the advantages of wired. Wired is more secure. Then what? Data transfer is fast. Okay, wireless, security is less, slow data transfer. Wireless is cheap, wired is highly expensive. Now, for the wired, there will be cables, so there is a danger for tripping out the cables, or you know, you have to secure it. Again, portability is an issue in wired. In wireless, these two things are not there. Okay. Interference. If electronic devices are there, there will be an interference of the signals. Okay. So these are the four factors that affect the speed and volume of data transfer. Kind of sure question for exams. It is an important topic and it has been asked many times. Three advantages of downloading rather than streaming the video we discussed. Now, I think this one is over. We will go to the next one, device to device communication. In the unit 2 itself, chapter 4 itself, I think in the textbook it's page number 68. Device to device communication, how the device communicates with the other device. Okay, now here it is a difference between wired and wireless. Before that, yeah, I want to tell you about the connection between these two devices. They might give you a scenario where two devices are there and you have to identify what kind of connection is there. Like there are different types of wired connections, like it can be wired, a mini jack can be used, USB 1, HDMI or Bluetooth. Okay, so in the first case, temperature sensor air conditioner, it is wired. The temperature sensor is connected to the air conditioner using a wire. Headphones to smartphone, it can be mini jack or it can be Bluetooth as well. External hard disk to the laptop, it is using USB. Game controller to the console, it will be Bluetooth. Okay, so this kind of questions will be there. Now coming to wired and wireless, we discussed this, the range, the faster. So instead of writing only the keywords, you have to describe the keyword as well. Simply do not write it is expensive, it is slow. No, it is less secure. No, you have to describe it and write. Now, what is LAN and WAN? LAN meaning local area network, means it is spread over a very small geographical area. A network that contains a very small, that is contained in a very small geographical area. For example, the lab, the ICT lab in our school, you can call it as a LAN, or the network in our school, it's a LAN. Okay, in our office, at home, these all are the examples for LAN. Whereas wide area network is wireless, sorry, WAN is wide area network. Wide area network, it covers a large geographical area like a city, state, country, continent, whatever. Okay, so the best example for wide area network is internet. Apart from LAN and WAN, there is another one which is PAN. Okay, PAN meaning personal area network. It contains all the personal devices that is connected. Like for example, your laptop is connected with your phone, your laptop is connected with the hard disk or printer, or this is called PAN. Okay, then what are the difference between LAN and WAN? That can be asked. Okay, so we discussed WAN, LAN, and PAN. Yeah, personal area network for the individual person, like all the devices that can be connected with your smartphone or your personal devices. It can be both wired or wireless. Now comes tethering. What is tethering? It is the process of connecting a host device. Like you do connect you do share the internet with some other device, that is tethering or hotspot you say. Okay, so that is the smartphone is connected to the tablet or the mobile, so that is called tethering. Okay, now it is actually the mobile phone network, then mobile companies that they give the provision to enable or disable tethering. Okay, give two advantages of Kiki using a wired method to connect to the smartphone. What are the advantages of wired? It is highly secure and it is fast, but you have to describe it. Advantage of Kiki of using a wireless method. Wireless method is very cheap and you don't have to worry about the wires. There is no cables. It is portable. All these things. Okay. So this much topic is covered. Then the next topic is satellite communication. Satellite communication. Now, satellite communication. Uh, okay. Satellite communication, the first one is GPS, television, telephone, and the military services. Okay, that is used for the military. Now, satellite communication means what? There is satellite, there is specific satellite for all these things. Now, if the satellite is there, that means the service is always available. There is no power shortage. That is a major advantage of satellite. There is no power shortage. Then and they may not work in tall buildings or the underground tunnels. This is a major disadvantage with satellite communication. Another disadvantage is it is always affected by the weather conditions like rainfall, snow, all these things. Okay, so the first and foremost one that is always asked is the GPS, that is the Global Positioning System. So we have three satellites to um, to find out the GPS location. So what are the advantages? They determine the position of a person or vehicle or whatever device. Basically it is a device. Okay, now it helps to navigation, to move from one place to another. It shows the destination, how much time, it shows us the way. Now one important question is, does GPS need internet? No. Global Positioning System or GPS is working with the help of satellite and hence it doesn't need internet connection. In order to load the map or to know the traffic, you might need an internet connection. Otherwise, you don't need an internet connection to use GPS. I hope that is clear. Okay. I think only three or four satellites need to be in view for this GPS. Now, television, this is the whole process of transmission in television broadcasting. There will be an earth station, that is a channel. Like, for example, channel A. This channel A will be having its own earth station. It will use a transmitter to transmit the data up to the satellite. From the satellite, it is downlinked to the receiver. That is why we keep this dish in our homes to receive the signal. Okay, and from the dish, it is connected to a receiver. We all have receiver kind of thing. So, to the receiver, it is connected, and the signal is received, and it is converted to the an analog one. Okay, so this is the whole process of television broadcasting. Now, satellite phones. We have seen satellite phones with people who or in remote areas, or where in high altitude, okay, or in different weather conditions and all. So satellite phone, the major advantage is using a satellite phone you can communicate to a local network like a mobile phone or a landline. It is not just satellite to satellite. It has got an antenna to transmit and receive the data, so it is through satellite. So there is no wires, cables or network provided. It is a satellite that is working, so you can use a satellite phone anywhere. Okay, so these are the advantages. Description about satellite phones. Military communication. Satellites are used for military communications, such as the global command and control system. It is basically the like part of the safety and security. Okay, so this is the um, uh, topic from satellite communication. So I think I covered wired, wireless. Now in wireless, actually there are four different types. If you check page number 75, you can see the difference between them. Okay, so I would say like Wi-Fi is the first one, Bluetooth, infrared, then 3G, 4G or whatever, 5G, and then NFC. Okay, we discussed this in detail in the revision lessons, but still I'm telling. Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, you know everything about Wi-Fi. It uses IEEE 802.1. It is the name of a protocol. You don't have to worry about it. It has got a particular standard. It provides networks. Okay, so it helps to connect the devices to a network. Now, coming to the Bluetooth, it is wireless connectivity again. Short distance means very short range. There is very less security. Only small files can be sent. Small files with less storage. Okay. Now the major advantage of Bluetooth is you can connect your devices like speaker to the headphone. Sorry, so why to connect speaker to the headphone? Speaker to your mobile phone, AirPods to the mobile phone, your other devices, smartwatch to the phone, smartwatch to the AirPods. All these things can be connected. Infrared, talking about the infrared, the first thing you should remember is the TV remote or the red line. The major disadvantage, I could say, of infrared is the line of sight. So it should come in the straight line, then only it will sense. And it has got very less security. That is why we use in the remote controls, etc. Okay, and only very less data can be stored. It has got very short range. Actually, you cannot use the remote from here to the next flat. Okay, then the signals travel in straight line, and that is called the line of sight. It is it This infrared is affected by sunlight. That is another disadvantage. Okay, then 3G, 4G, 5G, that is basically the network. You can say the mobile network. G stands for generation. It is the speed. You know all about this. Another tough one is near field communication. Near field communication is what you do when you go to metro. You tap the card and you enter, right? When you go to a shop, you just tap the card and you pay. So that is near field communication. You have to be in a very short range. Security is very high. It is actually used with the help of RFID chips. So what is RFID? Radio frequency identification chips. Okay, we learned this in detail in chapter 1. NFC, the devices using NFC, near field communication. It has to be close. Like you go to the hotel rooms, you open the door by just tapping the card over the lock, right? So that is NFC, near field communication. There is a detailed table given in textbook page number 77 about wired and wireless. By this, device to device communication, sorry, digital communication, yeah, device device to device digital communication is over.